Adcock City now, and I'm the leader of the band. I started my band in early 90s. I was making some demos because I was trying to just get a job as a guitar player with other, sort of as a gun for hire. I played with the great Zydeco, who I got to see earlier today. Buck's doing great, and I got to play because I grew up in Lafayette, Louisiana, and so Buckwheat was like, I mean, you can't believe how cool it was. Like, it was the 80s, and you go to the high school dance, and you dancing to all the 80s music, and then we'd leave that and go to Buckwheat Zydeco at like a black joint across town. And then Buckwheat was out touring with U2. It was just a fantastical time. I started my band after playing guitar with other people for a while. I keep a place in the French Quarter here in New Orleans. I love New Orleans and the cities. You can spend a lifetime here getting inside of it, and it gets inside of you real quick. The music was the first thing to come back. In the days after Katrina, we were making records, and so we came back into New Orleans literally weeks after Katrina, and we were making records in our studio. And the town was just completely upside down. It's hard to explain. Nothing was open, and everybody was just tripping. And of course, we were out in Lafayette, and we were doing a lot of triage out there. We had a lot of people staying at our place out in Lafayette. Everybody was just taking people in. And all the musicians from New Orleans, had tons of people staying at my house out there. But we had records to make, and our studio was here. And as soon as the electricity came back on in the quarter, which was quick because it's on a grid and it's the old city, so we were kind of on the proverbial high ground. And we were making records, but it was fantastic. But the first thing that happened was, like it's like kind of like after a storm, after a hurricane, it's over when you hear the birds. Because the first thing you heard would be in the French Quarter, and all of a sudden you'd hear like a trumpet down the road, or you'd hear somebody playing drums, or you'd hear that there was a gig at a club that had a generator, or someplace in the quarter was going to have a band tonight. It wasn't like have a band, just somebody's going to show up and play, and everybody showed up. That was the first thing that came back. So the music was the first thing to come back, and to this day it still what rules and runs the city.
I'm Curly Taylor. Curly Taylor and Zydeco Trouble, and I'm from a little town in Louisiana called Grand Coteau. It's maybe a generation before me that started the Zydeco music. And it was like a bunch of blues type of music, jazz played on an accordion with a rubbing board, and the guys would sing in French because down here in Louisiana, a bunch of Creole speaking people. So they were singing blues, jazz music over with an accordion, a rub board, and that kind of stuff. So as it progressed, and like the older generation, the original generation, they started off with blues music. So as times are changing, and the younger generation are coming in, well, now we're starting to incorporate more R&B music to it, more of even hip hop, we're starting to put hip hop into it because it's that generation that what we listen to, and just all our influences. But it's really like played with an accordion, rub board, and you get some songs and done in French music. I have a lot of uncles, or two uncles that played with the king of Zydeco, which is Chanel. And he started off this thing, what you call Zydeco. And one of them is my mom's brother, and another one is my mom's brother-in-law. But the moral of that story is the brother-in-law that played bass in Clifton Chanel. We were riding in his car one night, and a James Brown song came on, and I was singing to it, and he looked back and he was like, "Man, you singing that?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "You know you could sing?" And that's when the light turned on, and it was like, you know what, I might be able to be a singer after all, So, I listened to James Brown, and I just, I guess he was surprised because I was young and I was listening to that type of music. And he was like, "That's you singing?" I'm like, "Yeah." From me being who I am, and it's just gonna always come out, Zydeco, blues, R&B, it's always gonna come out. And I just hope that people around the world just accept it.
I'm Jason Burns. I play the upright bass with Adcock tonight, and I'm from Minden, Louisiana. In New Orleans, you got the etouffee and the crawfish and everything. There's a line about halfway through Louisiana, it turns into chicken and dumplings and bread. I mean, with CC, the coolest part about the reason I've been playing with him for 20-something years is because it lets me stretch musically. It's not just like a rhythm and blues thing. It's learning to do different slap patterns, and I think anybody's ever done upright bass and move it a little bit forward. Hopefully, I just don't want. I try not to learn the old classic blues way. I can play those songs, but I want to do it my own way and add a little more rhythm, slap bass, kind of more of the rockabilly side. Well, New Orleans. Zydeco's not from New Orleans. There's Acadiana. That's where the Cajuns and everybody. That's where Zydeco. And New Orleans has its own whole jazzy thing, which is really cool too. This is more country. Zydeco's country. It's not uptown. It's country. And I've always loved Zydeco. I heard it when I was a kid, even though it was past the chicken and dumpling. I don't think there's ever going to be a problem preserving it. I think it's kind of moving forward, and some bands stretch it more than others, but there's plenty of bands around regionally that do it traditionally. And they stick to it, which is great. And then there's the guys that move it a little bit forward and try to move it to the newer generations so they get into it. And once the newer generations get into it, they always go back to the roots of it.